time to get raw, nerds. Hey nerds, Jeremiah here. Wanted to make a quick video here in the garden. I come here sometimes to think when there's a lot on my mind. And I guess I can show you the garden real fast. I know in other videos. A little closed off section of the community garden here. We've tried to do a little bit of work, and there's definitely some weed issues, but it's still a garden in my opinion. Either way, hope y'all are doing really well. Hopefully you guys don't get bored with my content, but this is just a real raw video. Means it's completely unedited, and this is just me sitting here holding my camera outstretched, which eventually will go numb. So these videos can't be too long, or my arm will get really stiff, and then of course I'll have to adjust in order to kind of get like stuff off, the pressure off my arms. So I'll switch between arms, but life is a struggle. No one said it ever was not a struggle, and we all live in a pretty difficult time. And if I'm being honest, we kind of put difficulty on ourselves. You know, the stuff we deal with in our everyday lives, we create the struggles. We really do. When I think about it, I honestly can think about almost every situation I've ever been in. Not always my fault, but then sometimes, a lot of times, it was my fault. Because either it's something I did or didn't do through my inaction that caused it to begin with. So, really, we kind of cause our own conflict sometimes. Sure, there are outside things, you know, influences and stuff that kind of hinder us or get in our way or roadblocks or something, but guys, in a lot of ways, we create our own roadblocks. We create our own situations that we find ourselves in. And if we were to just start taking accountability for the stuff that we do or don't do in this life, I think things would be a lot better. I know with the People's Quill playlist series that I'm going to be putting up here, the People's Quill really is all about civic agency and learning civic literacy. Democracy can work. It's been working for over 200 years at this point, but just civic agency. I think we all have the voices. We are the voices of the United States of America, and it's time we start taking our voices back. And instead of idly sitting by and watching policies run our lives, why not actually push for policies why not push for policies on how we are to be governed as citizens of the United States? I think that's the one power that we've forgotten about. The one thing that we've definitely truly been able to do on our own is to be able to let the government know how we would like to be ran, how our society would like to be ran. We have that influence because we are the voices of America. But the thing is, it's really hard to be a voice lost in a chasm, an empty chasm. And when that chasm is not being used, the thing about voices, it's you're echoing. And echoing is really great because you can hear a lot of stuff. But I guess that's where I come up with that concept, where I come up with the idea behind a single voice in the void of a chasm can echo miles. But that echoing of miles means absolutely nothing if no one's there to hear it. If no one's there to hear the echo, what's the point of shouting to begin with? But if we were to take all of us together, and echo into that void, echo into that abyss, so many things can happen. So many things. And that's really what I want, you know? There's so much I want out of this life. There's so much I want for myself, for my family. There's a lot I want for myself. I'm not going to be Clydesdale about it. There's stuff I want. There's stuff I want to do in this life, and there's stuff I want for my family and my friends and my coworkers and for everyone, you know. And just when I also look at the rates of suicide. It's just the rates of suicide. There's, from last I checked the statistic, there's someone killing themselves at least every minute. Every minute someone's offing themselves. In fact, over this 5-minute video so far, probably 5 people have committed suicide. And that's just not cool. I'm not down for that. I don't like that. And I really want to be able to start seeing change happen in the mental health community too. I do believe that basic needs needed to be met in order before we can be productive. So food, shelter, water, hygiene, medical, dental, those needs need to be met. And power and shelter and safety, those all need to be, basic needs need to be met. That's the very first phase that needs to happen. Basic needs met. And I honestly believe that. I believe that if our basic needs can be met, I honestly believe that change can occur because people won't have to worry about struggling or concerned where their next meal is going to come from, or when they get sick and they would have to go to the doctor. Hospitals in emergency situations already are legally required by law to help you out in emergency situations. But after the emergency is passed and then treatment comes available or treatment options become available, then it's no longer an emergency. Now you're just dealing with the situation that caused the emergency to begin with. So we already got that covered. Hospitals are already required to provide emergency services to the public. So that's a required thing for hospitals. But after the emergency is passed, and then they are diagnosed with whatever they're dealing with, and then the insurance takes over from there, where insurance may cover you or not cover you. There's just a lot that goes on into our system, and I understand the gears and stuff. It's very complex, and it's something that I don't really want to think too much about because I'm just gonna side my track away from the channel and everything. And my overall life too, with my wife and everything. She's concerned that I'm spending too much time on social media, but I told her that really I'm just trying to concentrate on one social media platform, which is YouTube now. So yeah, I mean, I really do like YouTube. I do wish that YouTube would get rid of their minimum subscriber thing for going live, which I think is silly, but I guess whatever this stuff is for here on YouTube and everything, where like the bandwidth or whatnot, everyone going live no matter how many subscribers you have. So I guess having a minimum amount of subscribers makes sense. Anyways, that's just another beef I have. But eventually I'll get to my 1,000. I'm at 23 subscribers now. So I think that's really cool. And I believe this is probably the 23rd Reroll Raw video that I've made. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. I went from 7 to 23. That's nothing to joke about. I did look up something, too, about Google, or on Google Gemini. And Gemini says that there are over, like, 500 million channels, but only half of those are really being watched, and only half of those are really being worked on. And, like, a good majority of those YouTube channels only have, like, 5 subscribers. So the fact that I'm in the 23 subscriber mark means a lot to me. And I appreciate you guys staying around. And if you've been watching this video up until now, I really appreciate it. And again, I always talk about the fundamental ways you guys can support the channel, so I won't keep boring you with that. But I just want you guys to know that we live in pretty stressful times. And even though life is stressful, I do honestly think we cause a lot of our own stress. So if you see something in front of you that needs to be done, go off and do it. Don't wait around. Don't wait for someone else to come and take up the reins, because eventually someone else will come up and pick up the reins. It's just how it works. When you see a need, you fill a need. I got that from the Pixar movie Robots. See a need, fill a need. So yeah, that's all I got for this video, guys. This was Jeremiah from Reroll, and may you always roll 20s. Bye.